Welcome everyone. Those who haven't seen me before, I'm rector of Vistula University. We have two teams. I understand one in arguing for it, one in arguing against it. As a judging panel, the three of us will decide who won the debate. So please welcome the teams by applauding them. Look forward to an exciting debate. Let's find out, should Turkey join the European Union? And Mr. Novak now takes the lead. The floor is yours.
We have a very simple rule. It's not a classical Oxford debate, but close to. So we will have first affirmative speech, about 5 minutes. Then the negative side takes over, and also the negative side and its role is to refer to the previous arguments after this. The last speech is about, and then we exchange the sides, and the last speech will be about 8 minutes, summing up all the arguments against and trying to kick the opponents. So I think it's time to start now. The affirmative side on yes, why Turkey should join the European Union. Please go on, we'll start.
Mr. Moderator, honorable judges, worthy opponents, and ladies and gentlemen, I am here to give reasons why Turkey must join the EU. The country of Turkey is typically considered to straddle both Europe and Asia. Turkey occupies all of the Anatolian Peninsula and a small part of southeastern Europe. In October 2005, negotiations began between Turkey, population 70 million, and the European Union, for Turkey to be considered as a possible member of the EU in the future. The Bosphorus Strait, so it straddles both what are traditionally considered Europe and Asia. While the European Union is working with Turkey to help it move toward being able to become a member of the European Union, there are some who are concerned about Turkey's potential membership. Those opposed first, they state that Turkey's culture and values are different from those of the European Union as a whole. They point out that Turkey's 99% Muslim population is too different from Christian-based Europe. However, the EU makes the case that the EU is not a religion-based organization. Turkey is a secular state, non-religion-based government, and that 25 million Muslims currently live throughout the European Union. Nonetheless, the EU acknowledges that Turkey needs to substantially improve respect for the rights of non-Muslim religious communities to meet European standards. Secondly, nations point out that since Turkey is mostly not in Europe, it should not become part of the European Union. The EU responds that the EU is based more on values and political wisdom on rivers and mountains, and acknowledges that geographers and historians have never agreed on the physical or natural borders of Europe. So, a third reason Turkey might have problems is its non-recognition of Cyprus, a full-fledged member of the European Union. They will have to acknowledge Cyprus to be considered a contender for membership. Already, His Excellency Tayyip Erdogan, in an interview last month over Euronews, mentioned the ongoing negotiation led by Britain alongside Turkey, Greece, North and South Cyprus, for the reunification of both sides and eventually close matter, which according to him was planned for the end of the year 2012. I was fortunately moved by the EU statement on why Turkey should be part of the European Union of the future. Europe needs a stable, democratic, and more prosperous Turkey which adopts our values, our rule of law and our common policies, the accession perspective has already driven forward bold and significant reforms. If the rule of law and human rights are guaranteed throughout the country, Turkey can join the EU and thus become an even stronger bridge between civilization as it is already today. That sounds like growth. Some are concerned that Turkey's large population would alter the balance of power in the European Union. After all, Germany's population, and the largest country in the EU, is only at 82 million and declining. Turkey will be the second largest country, and perhaps eventually the largest with its much higher growth rate in the EU, and will have considerable influence in the European Union. This influence. So I have to sum up. In order to, I will talk about Middle East. In order to get rid of its dependence on Russia in terms of natural resources, EU definitely needs Middle East. Nabucco project is clearly an example for this situation. The Nabucco pipeline is a proposed natural gas pipeline from Turkey to Austria. The pipeline attempts to reduce European dependence on Russia. And we have to ask, if the EU wants to be active international actor rather than a museum, it needs the fresh perspective of Turkish people. And again, recent changes in the Arab world and the Arab Spring have once again proved Turkey's unquestionable power in the region.
Thank you. According to the rules which you know, we've got 5 minutes, then following 8 minutes speech, affirmative, but also with reference to the previous speaker. Please go on. They got it set.
Okay. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Is it working? Yes? Okay. Boris? Okay. So, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, chairpersons, jury, opponents. So, the story of Turkey's accession to the European Union began a long time ago, as you know. And since that, it's dragging without any tangible results and became an apple of discord in the world society. So today we are here at least to discuss the reasons of such a delay in decision-making in Turkish case, and we have to do our best to come to some satisfying consensus in the long run. So, I'd like to refer a bit to my opponent and to her speech. So, I agree that our opponent talked about Turkey as the second country after Germany if we are talking population and labor mobility. But I think that I'll come back to this a bit later. So, I should say that our team identifies ourselves as a team of opponents, but it doesn't mean that we are first class or all the time against Turkish accession. No, we are ready to negotiate at the round table about the possibility of Turkish presence in the European Union, but we have our own reasons why we consider Turkish accession inappropriate, or if you want, inadvisable in the current situation. So from the economic point of view, Turkish current results are not so bad. And at a glance, its economy has sustainable development, but if we look at gross national income per capita based on purchasing power parity converted to international dollars using purchasing power parity rates, so I think I should explain exactly maybe what it means. So an international dollar has the same purchasing power over gross national income as a US dollar has in the United States. And so it means that gross national income is like the sum of value added by all residential producers plus any product taxes, not included in the valuation of output plus net receipts of primary income from abroad. So, according to the World Bank, Turkish gross national income, so PPP, purchasing power of parity, on the year 2010 is $15,000, which is lower than in notorious PIGS countries. It's Portugal, Italy, Greece, and Spain, where we have 24,000, 31,000 as in Italy, 27 Greece, and Spain, 31. So, and you know that these countries are stuck now in the economic crisis. Also, the fact that Turkey is heavily indebted in the industrial sector and in a significant financial exchange deficit as fuel to the flame. It means that any future currency fluctuation will definitely weaken the industrial element of the economy. So it means that it's impossible for Turkey to change lira for euro during the next few years. Moreover, Turkish energy self-sufficiency is one of its strong points. So Turkey depends heavily on imports to meet its domestic energy needs. Over 66% of its natural gas and roughly 90% of its oil come from abroad. So this is an important structural vulnerability. Besides the obvious threat to the country's energy security, dependence on imported energy has played a major role in the persistent current account deficit that Turkey has run since 2002. So the country is headed for a rapid high current account deficit in this year, 2011. However, the structural drivers of this deficit are not something that policymakers can change overnight, you see. So, however, the structural drivers of this deficit are not something that is, can be changed so fast, and Turkey's reliance on oil and natural gas importance is a significant driver of the deficit, and tackling this issue involves longer-term energy reforms. So what all Turkey is craving for EU accession has implemented a lot of laws and drafted special reforms to adjust its system to European standards. But European membership requires more changes, which means even more costs. So the question of money at all times is actual. Where is Turkey going to borrow money? More money now. So the country's economy isn't ready now to dip even more into deficit. So certainly that is one of the most significant advantages for EU membership. That Turkey considers tax-free free market within the European Union. But there can be other solutions in tackling the problem of taxes. Turkey as a special partner of the European Union can draft a project in collaboration with EU members based on free market and people mobility on exclusive terms between Turkey and the European Union. And it will mean that Turkey won't have to invest more and more money and then must hold of promising EU acceptance, and EU will find its own benefits in covering the market. So the point is that it's cheaper to work within the current frameworks and borders than reconstruct everything. EU is experiencing a really challenging economic situation in current days, and Turkish acceptance will bring only more headache. You can find actually, yes, that Turkey with its emerging economy can help EU as a second partner after Germany with its labor mobility. But seriously, if EU accepts Turkey, it will urge other West countries to supply for the acceptance. What about Syria, Iran, or maybe China? Europe should remain Europe, and don't forget about it. Thank you.
Mr. Moderator, honorable guests, I'm not sure this worthy opponents, and ladies and gentlemen, I would like to speak about the economy in Turkey. I'm on the group of proponents, and I will explain you guys why economy in Turkey is so important. So, first of all, I would like to say that economy in Turkey is defined as emerging market by IMF. It's highly developed. Turkey is one of the newly industrialized countries. It's one of the world's leading producers of agricultural products. For example, textiles. Turkish companies made clothing export worth $13.98 billion in 2006. Also, more than 10.67 billion, of which 76.33% were made to EU member states. Also, the production of motor vehicle is seventh largest producer in Europe. Another is ships. Turkey is one of the leading shipbuilding nations. In 2007, it was ranked as the fourth in the world. Other transportation equipment is also famous in Turkey. For instance, in 2009, over 102 airports were noticed, and fastest growing airline companies are also highly developed. For instance, Turkish Airlines won Europe's Best Airlines Award it's called Skytrax, this company. I'm not sure, but I think it's working with FC Barcelona, so maybe some of you know about it. I would also say, as my opponent pointed out about GDP, that it's the world's 15th largest GDP. It's 70th largest nominal GDP in the world. Country is a member of OECD since 1962. It's one of G20 major economies. Turkey is often classified as newly industrialized country by the economists and political scientists. To give you some data, GDP is 1.116 trillion. Now, I would like to say about how Turkey copes with crisis, because as we all know, the global crisis is quite widespread nowadays. And a few years ago, the Turkish economy had been affected, of course, by the global changes. And the economists implied that, yet in many ways, Turkey has weathered the credit crunch better than the other emerging economies, which is quite a big argument, I think. In 2009, the government introduced various economic stimulus measures, such as temporary tax cuts, automobiles, home appliances, and housing. Production durable customer goods increased by 7.2%. Turkey's stock market credit rating have responded positively. Share prices in Turkey nearly doubled over the course of 2009. Turkey is one of the countries that saw its rating upgraded by 2 notches. Main trading partners, if we speak of trade, is European Union, and also is accounted for 59% of exports and 52% of imports, just by 2005. Another important field, I think, which we all know about, is tourism. It's one of the most dynamic and fastest developing sectors in Turkey. And according to travel agency TUEAG, 11 of the best 100 hotels in the whole world are located in Turkey. Over the years, Turkey has emerged as a popular tourist destination for many Europeans. We choose it over Italy, Spain, and maybe not as much Greece nowadays, but still it's a very attractive place to go to. And to give you some outline of my conclusion, I would like to say that we focus on 3 main changes associated with Turkish membership. The first, accession to internal European market. The second, institutional reforms in Turkey triggered by EU membership. And then third, migration in response to free movement of workers. The macroeconomic implications for EU countries are small but positive. European export increased by around 20%. Turkey experiences larger economic gains than EU. Consumption per capita is estimated to rise about 4% as a result of accession to the internal market and free movement of labor. If Turkey will succeed in reforming its domestic institutions in response to EU membership, consumption per capita in Turkey could rise by an additional 9%. This is quite a big number. These benefits will spill over to the EU all over. Turkey's large population offers a strong market for EU goods. And what is the most important argument for me personally, the EU has welcomed poorer entrants before economic crises, such as Ireland, Spain, Portugal, and Greece. They were all much poorer than the EU average, and when they joined and are now well integrated, they are much more prosperous than before. Migration was forecast in their cases too, but did not occur. Turkey is not as poor as it has been suggested, because there were some suggestions that it's as poor as Romania, Bulgaria, Latvia, and Lithuania. And among current prospective entrants, all have lower GDP per capita than Turkey does. And well, I would like to say that I think that I wasn't speaking about some abstract facts, it's real informations. And, all right, and Turkey is ready for European Union, and I'm not sure if it's a matter if European Union is ready for Turkey. Thank you.
Now we got to the second negative speech. I would encourage our audience to be somehow more active, because it is also allowed in the debate, so you can express your opinion, although not speaking. Thank you. Go on. Negative side.
Good afternoon, gentlemen, jury, opponents. So it was good that we heard that Turkey waited for European Union in economic side, but we didn't touch the topic about the war. So. But a constitutional European Union country which has an external and internal conflict wouldn't be a member of European Union. So, on our side of the Cyprus, so I'm going to touch the problem with the Cyprus. Cyprus problem was appeared since 1974, and the north side of the Cyprus controlled by Turkish, and Turkey and by Greece, south side of the Cyprus. So. It can be, but in the fact, it's impossible. Because it can be good for the economic situation in the future, and it can make more benefits for European Union in the future for many countries. But when we consider in the facts, 60% of European Union members against of it, the main reason of it, population, problem with the Greece, and unsolved ethnic problems, such as the internal conflict, Kurdish war. So, in this case, Turkey should consider resolving the war problems. If the Turkey wants to join the European Union, there should resolution of these kind of problems and getting more benefit from the European Union. So, one point of this can be touched by the France. President of France, by the state issue, Lazarov, Turkey should leave north of Cyprus. He touched many issues. So, if Turkey wants to be a member of the European Union, this conflict should be resolved. I want to give the one short description about this issue, and if opponents will consider on that, I want to hear some resolution of that. If they will not, yeah, that's good. So, Turkey should first of all resolve the problem with the war, and after that think about the economy and such kind of things. I think that's it.
I must say it's an exception that you didn't use fully your time, so now we have affirmative side. Please go on with constructive speech and also with the opponent. The third speech.
Firstly, I would like to welcome Mr. Moderator, honorable judges,
why Turkey should join the European Union. Turkey has a desire to align itself with the West, and it has often expressed its firm wish to join the European Union. Despite all the obstacles it has encountered and alternatives it has been offered. Naturally, to be European in Turkey is quite different from being European in Paris, Stockholm, or Dublin. Nevertheless, therein lies the appeal of the European Union. Anyone can interpret what it means to be European in line with their history, culture, and needs. For the French, to be European may mean to be French, but on a different dimension. For Germans, to be European may mean to be a good German. For Spaniards, being European has implied being European again. We must therefore respect the assertion of identity of someone who, if not completely identical to us, claims to want to live side by side with us and be like us in terms of democratic rights and obligations. On 14 April 1987, Turkey submitted an application for membership to the European Community. It took the European Commission until December 1989 to produce an opinion approved by the European Council 2 months later, refusing accession negotiations on several grounds. It has pointed out that the community itself was undergoing major changes following the adoption of the Single Act. It would therefore be inappropriate to become involved in new accession negotiations at this stage. Furthermore, the economic and political situation in Turkey, including the negative consequences of the dispute between Turkey and one member state of the community, and also the situation in Cyprus, led the Commission to believe that it would not be useful to open accession negotiations with Turkey straight away. The Commission instead recommended a series of supporting measures for Turkey, without casting doubt on its eligibility for membership to the community. Interestingly, an application for membership of the European Community, submitted also in 1987 by Morocco, was rejected, out of hand as coming from a non-European country. During the following decade, Turkey's eligibility for membership has been reconfirmed on many occasions by the European Council, the General Affairs Council, and in the Association Council. Turkey's relations with Greece have continued to improve over recent years, and Greece now supports Turkish European Union membership. Efforts to solve a number of continuous bilateral issues are underway, and exploratory talks are being held between the two foreign ministers on the disputes. It is likely that the opening of accession negotiations with Turkey would greatly facilitate the search for a solution here. Equally, Turkey's rapprochement to the European Union should have beneficial effects on relationship with other neighbor states. In particular, with regard to Armenia, it is to be hoped that the opening of borders and improvement in bilateral relations may become possible, including Turkey's recognition of the tragic events of the past in the spirit of European reconciliation. In view of the tremendous efforts undertaken by the Turkish government and society to adopt to European standards in all the aspects, there is a widespread expectation that by years and an irresistible step towards European Union, membership will be taken. A negative decision by the European Council would be considered as confirming Turkey's deeply rooted perception of rejection by Europe, with less than perfect compliance with membership criteria, serving as an excuse for the real reason, religious and cultural differences. Erosion of public support and the likely emergence of a more visible opposition to European Union membership could decisively weaken the Erdogan government and bring the transformation process to a halt. At the same time, it should be evident that Turkey does not possess a viable alternative to integration with Europe. The possibility of a grand alliance with the countries of Central Asia or the Black Sea region is mere illusion. is it for this reason that Turkey political class and society have consistently focused on Europe. If Turkish hopes are disappointed, an advance of ultranationalists as well as Islamic currents should be expected, and revival of violence in the Kurdish populated regions would be likely leading to increased instability and the return of the military establishment to a more assertive role. For the emerging European security and defense policy, Turkey's considerable military capabilities and the country's potential as a forward base would be important and much needed assets. Over the years, Turkey has made considerable contributions to international peacekeeping operations, including those in Croatia, Bosnia and Herzegovina, and Kosovo, and has participated in the European-led military and police missions in Macedonia. Until December 2002, it led the International Security Assistance Force in Afghanistan. Turkey's argument to the comprehensive deal reached in 2002 on European Union-NATO relations allowed cooperation in military crisis management, lifting obstacles to the implementation of the Berlin Plus agenda. Furthermore, Turkey... thank you for your attention.
The last negative but constructive speech, as well with reference to the other arguments, please go on. And remember that the last speakers, which will be Boris and you, yes, you should totally abolish the argument of your opponent, yes, which means that you should not be constructive. You should refer to arguments of your opponent. And that's the rule for last speeches. Please go on. The last negative but constructive speech.
Greeting has always been a tradition, so I start by saying a warm good afternoon to the panel of judges, the coordinators, my opponents, and last but not least, ladies and gentlemen. I, Mr. Michael Offer, is here to oppose the fact that Turkey should join the European Union. First and foremost, eternal crisis, Kurdish crisis. The Kurdish crisis has always been a real hot case in Turkey and has caused a lot of problems and crises in Turkey for the past recent years. So with that being held down, you realize that with such crisis going on in a nation, it's hard to actually allow such nation to be part of an organization. First of all, Turkey is supposed to take care of such eternal problems, such conflicts. The Kurdish problem has always been a big catastrophe and bizarre in Turkey. I'm stating from Hassan, former New York Times Bears Turkey New York Times. He went on a survey around the Kurdish territory and he asked the Kurdish majority about why there was a more bigger approach towards like democracy and freedom of speech. And then the response was that they believe that Turkey is a democratic nation and is on its verge to the EU. But later on, he had a response that stated that regardless, 2 years later, the EU said that regardless of what Turkey does, it can never and will never join the EU. Further speaking, religious difference. Okay, we should not put blind eyes into religion. Everyone knows that the EU is more of a Christian organization. I'm not trying to be religious here, but let's face the fact. Turkey is more of an Islamic nation, which is not really the best or the most friendly kind of religion for the EU. And then cultural differences. Turkey combines a really large and diverse heterogeneous set of elements. It is more divided into Western and also Eastern culture, more European and also Asian. So if with those two different cultures mixed in one nation, you'll realize that with those two, it's hard for you to actually pick where Turkey stands. It's like two nations being divided into being put in one nation. So with that being put, you realize that these are reasons as to say that Turkey cannot join the EU. Okay, in my opinion, if I'm being totally honest with you, Turkey is like my opponent said, has a very high and blossoming economy. But if you look at the top leaders of the EU, Germany, Britain, and France, you realize that they would feel insecure if Turkey should join the European Union, which meaning that Turkey, for example, being the sixth power, most strongest army in the world, if they should join the European Union, that means that they would basically overthrow. I agree with that. But the fact still remains that the EU is more of a general and segregated for just the European Union, which Turkey is not certainly a European nation. Because it is more to the Asian and the Eastern side. So with this, I tend to round up my debate, and thank you for your attention.
Just to explain, in traditional Oxford debate, we should now have the last speech by affirmative side, 3 minutes. But I was asked by the organizers to change a little bit the rule. So now we will have the final speech, which should abolish the arguments, only abolish, 8 minutes. And the last negative speech, also 8 minutes. This was the rule introduced by the organizer. I would also ask the Commission immediately after that to vote on the winner in silence and then announce the result, and be prepared for a little comments on this debate. So, ladies and gentlemen, the last round. I think that the result is not so obvious as in Klitschko-Adamek fight. So let's go on. Boris, 8 minutes.
Mr. Moderator, honorable members of jury, worthy opponents, ladies and gentlemen. No, Turkey should not be allowed to join. I don't want to be in political union with a Muslim country. I don't want to be part of an organization having a border with troops of Iran or whoever else it is. Being with Turkey is even worse. The only advantage is that they enrich the population of Europe even more and make them even more angry about the anti-democratic league that opposes European integration and expansion of the EU. I hope that nobody thinks that people like me will defend the EU in time of war. I can't wait to see it destroyed. Comments from Joseph London. Or, Turkey should not join the EU because the EU is a Christian club. And we Muslims don't have to mix with Christians. And it makes no sense for us joining a group which is facing deep economic crisis and be forced to adopt a currency which is declining progressively. We Muslims can't interleave with Christians. Never. Never. Comments from Ahmed from Istanbul. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow students once more. We all seated here in this hall today, participating in this debate, one way or the other. We are the hope of a better world. A world with reduced unrest, if possible, no unrest. We must start learning the right doctrines. The doctrine of peaceful cooperation. We have to promote greater tolerance and understanding amongst the people of the world. Nothing can be more dangerous for our efforts to build peace and development than the world divided in each nation and among nations. We must work to promote unity, based on shared humanity. We must not only control the weapons that kill us, we must bridge great disparities of wealth and opportunity among the peoples of the world. The vast majority of whom live in poverty, without hope, opportunity, or choices in life. Our only hope lies in the power of our love, generosity, tolerance, and understanding, and our commitment to make the world a better place for all. The greatest fear of this age of globalization is not the nuclear weapons, no. It's the fear of the clash of civilizations, which may lead to the most deadly and destructive war mankind has ever experienced, or even the end of time, as conspirational theorists claim. This is all due to differences in culture, ethnicity, religious beliefs, languages, identity, just to name a few. In this age of globalization, which with growing interdependence, there is no doubt in the occurrence of friction amongst cultures as people migrate to other regions of the globe, as knowledge and opinions also migrate, facilitated with the fast-growing technological know-how, which eases communication today. This, like the melting pot, will lead us to promote a harmonious and homogeneous culture, multiculturalism, as a result of acculturation. Turkey has been on the European Union menu for years, since 1959, when Turkey first applied to join what was then called the European Economic Community. Europe has been scratching its collective head over whether a mostly Muslim country that lies mostly outside the geographical borders of Europe actually belongs to Europe. Turkey has been coming back and forth between different political ideas and institutions, varying from demand for a religious state to that of a military state, a communist state, and then a liberal state. What the EU has to offer can fully convert Turkey into the European democracy that she aims at. Its recent election of a party with Islamist roots has led to a smooth transfer of power, with no attempt at intervention by the secularist military. Turkey's human rights record is also improving rapidly, with the recent abolition of the death penalty and the removal of some restrictions on the use of the Kurdish language and promoting its teachings too. These advances have been prompted by the improved prospect of EU entry into, of EU allowing Turkey to get into its membership. Security and Turkey's strategic placement bordering Syria, Iran, Iraq, Armenia, and Georgia is the second main area of disagreement. But to my own opinion, I think the EU should use Turkey as a strategic position or as a strategic partner, as a member partner, because there is a saying which goes, keep your friends close and your enemies closest. It will be childish for the EU to pick up such a point about not wanting to have neighbors, troubling countries. Knowing that these countries are troubling, we should just seek for means to bring dialogue.
Thank you.
Here I go. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, you can acclaim both teams after this. We'll see who will win by acclamation. As you know, you can organize the debate around values or around facts. So you've got both in this fascinating debate. Last but not least, the last negative speech. Please go on.
Good afternoon. All of you, respective of your classes and levels.
My former, the last speaker said, he quotes a lot of good people, Muhammad and his friends. But we all should know one thing. What really matters to Turkey? Turkey wants a good economy. Turkey wants development. Turkey wants stability, right? And they think by joining EU, it will be easy for them getting this thing. I'm saying opposite. No way. They will not get that thing by joining to EU because of the following view. EU sees Turkey as a favor in this way. EU is led by Germany, we all know. And why it's led by Germany? Because Germany is having a strong economy. Germany is having a big population. Germany has a big land. But we should all know, once EU allows Turkey to be in EU, there will be a transition of power. We will not see Germany, we will not see France in the ruling party. We will see Turkey. I don't think, to be open, that EU wants that. Another point. Turkish neighbors. You just look at the Turkish borders. The Syria, the Iran, the Iraq, and the French. NATO is helping America to fight terrorists in Turkey and other Islamist terrorists. NATO is under EU in one way or the other. Do you really think it will allow Turkey to be in EU, whereby Turkey has a brother who is a terrorist, Iraq has a brother who is a terrorist, Iran has a brother who is a terrorist, according to them? Do you think really EU wants that? With this point, I don't think EU wants that, therefore it will not. Another point, I'm going to be brief. The Turkish disunity. Turkey itself has a lot of disunity. The population is displaced. There are 3 million Turkish in Germany. These 3 million Turkish contribute to Germany being the highest economy in EU. It's contributing to Germany being the leader of EU. Now you put Turkey. These people will always fall to their country. Do you understand the interest? Turkey has a fight with the Kurdish from the historical background up to now. The wars the brother talk about. These are the issues. History matters in the future. Because when you choose a friend, you must consider where is he coming from. Let's say those friends of mine. I know where they're coming from. I see there is no background with them. I relate in one way or the other. I'll get benefit. They'll benefit from me. I join. So can you join a family where people are fighting and you allow that family to come and fight in my home? Is that possible? So Turkey should first sit down and solve their problem with the Kurdish, with all the people, settle down. They have a strong economy. I don't see the reason as to why they want to come to EU, which is, I don't know, we to live for 5 years. We can see the story of Greece and the other following. The pigs. These people are total down. They are not near to Turkey in anything. You put Turkey, the pigs will exploit Turkey in one way or the other. When Turkey is exploited, it's also like pigs. So they are all under one level, which is not the main issue Turkey wants. Another point. Westernization infection. Turkey is divided, as the brother said. He lived in Turkey. There is western part of Turkey and the normal part of Turkey. So, if you ask a Western Turkish, do you want to go in EU? It's an obvious case to tell you, no, I don't want to go. This is the mosque, this is the club, this is the stripping word. He will not say that. So themselves, they don't know what they want. Because they've been divided. There are those people who have been injected with the Western injection. Most of them are youth. They don't know. They don't have children. They don't know what is their future. They only think of being what they want to be. They are not sure of what they are going to be. These are not the people who will be held to make a decision for a country, for the future. That's not possible. That's not possible in all aspects. Another point. As it is said, Turkey has a fast growing economy. One of the most leading agriculture countries, the textile industry, fast growing companies, the fifth largest GDP. It's one of the 20th major G economy. Great fast growing economy. So Turkey with all of this, it's almost Turkey is fit to stand for itself. What do we have to do as Turkish? We sit down, we create more jobs, we settle, we use as much as we can. Not joining the union that is not free. With this view, with all respect, I'm saying that Turkey should not join the EU union because of my facts. Thank you very much for attending.
We will be happy for the results of the vote from the Commission and the assessment of the performance of our teams. If you would please. Obviously, if there are the question to two teams, if there are any complaints about the rules or something like this, you should tell it now. If it is okay, that is okay. I must say that in the meantime, I'm wondering whether it is still vital question, because now, as you know, the EU is in trouble. So sometimes I've heard the question not of a full membership of Turkey in the EU, but a kind of a party membership, like all our institutions, which will be in the worst case scenario accepted by the EU. Is there a verdict of the Commission? Okay.
Is he 30 seconds?
Yes.
30 seconds? No, I need more. Anyway.
Hello. My name is Tom Hashimoto. I'm teaching them history of international relations and international cultural relations. First, Boris, thank you, and it was very well organized, and I really like to see this kind of crowds in my class. But you know, people tended to skip my class, so that's anyway. I really like that, this opportunity to be held at this university, and given that we have reached a conclusion. However, we are going to say one by one our opinion, and Mr. Rector is going to give the conclusion. Here, I'm not deciding, or I'm not giving any my personal opinion, nor make on a point or items discussed. Rather, I focus on the argumentation itself. I think there are 4 points of discussion we have identified. First of all is, yes, Turkey is economically strong. However, how much the Turkish economy is relied on European economy at this moment? This is affirmative side cited GDP, and therefore they say Turkey is very strong. Negative side cited GNI, and if you are interested in, please look at the Wikipedia, and gross national income. So therefore the remittance, this is a very important part. Also the energy efficiency and reliance. So in this side, I agree with the negative side that GNI is very important part, and currently Turkish economy is heavily relied on the European Union, so the cost increases. I agree with it. In terms of defense, ESDP cooperation, so Turkey is joining the ESDP operations and the police operation in Macedonia and other countries. And on the other side, the negative side, promoting the Kurdish problem, Cyprus problem. I would like to hear more about the affirmative side, saying what your opinion about Cyprus problem and the Kurdish problem. So therefore, this round, I guess the negative side win. Diversity and unity, I think this is a more normative argument, so therefore I'm going to say break even. The last thing, and this is probably the decisive factor, is eligibility and coherency. The affirmative side has been saying 2004 accession, 2007 accession, there are a bunch of new countries coming in, such as Slovenia, such as Hungary, such as, and Croatia is today the candidate. So why not Turkey? Ireland have a problem, why not Turkey? Negative side did not, or did not strongly, I would say, talking about why not Turkey, but the other country. In this point, I think the affirmative side is pointing out the coherency of the EU accession and the EU's raison d'etre itself. For this reasoning, I cast my vote for the affirmative side.
Thank you very much. First of all, I would like to thank our honorable lecturer to be here and to see such kind of conduct or such kind of conference or meeting what we conducted this time. The idea is to first to take a trial from your side how you are organizing such kind of events. If it's positive response, what we are receiving positive response, we are organizing the same conference as national level and we can call all the universities from Poland to take part for that kind of event, that kind of debate. And we will have more broader aspects to listen and to call the people. So it was very excellent what our participants, they presented their views is excellent. It is very hard decision to finalize for or against because as you know that matter is under consideration under EU Council, membership people they are preparing in Turkey. So the way is on. The discussion what we had held here, I found it very interesting because the positive side, what you showed the picture, increasing GDP growth rate, huge market, a strong army side. So there are many points what you can discuss in politics, many points in negative side. As when we are discussing about European Union, first picture is coming in your mind that the country of one religion, that is Christianity. When you're talking about Turkey, you're calling as a secular country, but more is Islamic country. So on both the way, it's a very hard time for European Union to bring them together as Islamic, being as a picture, being as a symbolic union territory of Europe, to accept Islamic country as a member of European Union. At another hand, it's a requirement of European Union to increase their members. So both the hands, it's very hard to analyze. Is a positive decision or supposed to be a negative decision? But my vote goes to negative side. I more prefer not the side that this is my personal views, but this is the views what your competition took place, what the representative from the competition side they presented here. Excellent points they put in forward that Turkey is supposed to not get membership in European Union. Because country itself is able to maintain their own loyalty. So getting membership in European Union, it doesn't mean that Turkey will get more and more loyalty by getting membership. But the meaning is that the country deserves that right to be a member under European Union that is going to be helpful for EU or Turkey.
First of all, congratulations to students for this initiative. It's absolutely great. I enjoyed it immensely. I learned a lot because I'm not a specialist on these issues. I'm an economist, not a specialist in international relations, so I learned a lot and it was an exciting debate. It's a tough issue, so we are not discussing easy issues. It's a tough issue. So students are not afraid to tackle difficult issues that bring emotions. So it's really encouraging that this university are not afraid of dealing with difficult issues. Now, before I let you know how I decided, let me bring the story about Napoleon. There was French troops under Napoleon standing on the field, and British are attacking them. It's getting really dangerous. Napoleon gets really mad and asks his generals, why the hell we are not shooting from the cannons to the British? And generals tell him, Napoleon, there are 100 reasons why. First reason, we don't have cannons. So what I'm saying is that among all the arguments that we raised, there's one that is decisive, that affected my decision. And funny enough, this argument was raised by the yes team in favor of no accession.
Yeah.
And what was the argument? One presenting person said, Turkey is probably ready for the accession, but is the EU ready for Turkey? And the answer is no. I think all the arguments that were raised about crisis, about our internal problems, about peaks, now in conflict, about recession, the arguments that were raised, actually it's interesting. Yes team raised the key argument about why it shouldn't be happening, because the EU is absolutely not ready for Turkey to join. So my vote goes to no team, but because of the argument that was made by the yes team, just wait a minute. But I also want to add two things. I like in particular, I enjoyed all the speeches, but I enjoyed two in particular, two last no speeches. You guys will be prime ministers or presidents because you have a talent to speak out of your heart using emotions. And this is how politics is done these days. So I have to compliment the last two speakers on those side. It's absolutely amazing. I would say it's did better than majority of politicians in Poland. Congratulations to everyone. Really exciting debate. Always someone has to win, someone has to lose. So don't feel bad about it. You'll get your chance next time. Yes. Great performance, but yours might be a little bit better. All right. Thanks again.